Welcome to the Three Directions. Hello, and welcome to the Three Directions. I'm JG. With me is E3 and DJ. And this is our first podcast episode. Hopefully the first of many. And the topic today was going to be movies. But we're struggling right now because I just brought up Dave's top 3 picks of 2016.
No, not top 3. Just 3.
Just his 3.
Just 3 random films.
He just dug in a hat, picked out 3 movies. Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe.
Don't Breathe. Green Room. And Captain Fantastic. And
Nice.
I don't know if I've seen any of those.
Nice.
I've seen Green Room, though.
You seen Green Room?
I've seen Green Room. The guy who did Blue Ruin directed Green Room. If anybody's seen Blue Ruin.
Is that right? I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. He's the same actor in it, too.
Oh shit! Wow. Okay. Can we swear in this podcast?
Yes.
God damn it, Dave swear.
As soon as we turn 18, we can swear.
And your 3?
Batman v Superman,
Sorry.
Deadpool, and Zootopia. 'Cause I
Okay.
didn't realize that.
I see a connection with the 3. They're all shitty.
Oh,
But you watched them.
Everything except Zootopia.
Zootopia, yeah, you don't know what you're missing.
I've only seen 2 of those, and I would have to say that Zootopia is the best of them.
Okay, and then E3 came in with Ishkanul,
Ishkanul.
Kubo and the Two Strings, Moonlight / Arrival.
Yeah. It's like a cheat, and those 2 sort of tied for 3rd place.
So those are your top 3.
Those are my top 3 movies.
Okay.
Of
and
2016.
Yeah.
and yours would be top 3.
Well, see, I Googled movies in 2016, and it generated a list, and I went through the list, and I was like, holy crap, I didn't see any of these movies. So there was like 4 or 5 that I seen from 2016, and those were the top 3 of the 4.
Top 3 of the 4.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
See, you're wasting your time with these marathons. Star Wars and Harry Potter.
That was epic. I'm not done with Harry Potter yet, because I don't want to get depressed.
Cease and desist right now. I seen you send out a Facebook like asking people who's in. or who's down.
Nobody responded.
For what marathon is this?
The HP marathon.
I
I bought all 8 Blu-rays.
actually got my little girl Celeste. Movie 7, that's broken into 2. I finally got them that last year for Christmas, so guess
They
what
have
we
the
did
whole
Christmas
set.
Eve. Yeah, they have the whole set.
So what's your take on that?
On having a whole set, or just
In general.
in Harry Potter in general? I didn't start watching them until the 3rd movie.
Okay.
And that made
Wait,
me
you-
read the 4th book, and I read all the rest of the books. And then I just watched the movies as they came out, because my girls wanted to go see them. And I enjoyed them a lot. I mean,
I think this is a topic for films that solve the problem of sleep. What is that called? When you-
Apnea?
insomnia.
Insomnia. There you go.
Really, you find the HP series boring.
I haven't seen it, but I just don't like
He doesn't like fantasy movies.
Oh,
Sci-fi.
okay.
sci-fi.
He hasn't seen The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I refuse.
On principle.
Yeah,
Have you seen The Matrix?
I have.
There's the thing, I haven't, so I've never seen any of them.
The Matrix was just because I was at a friend's house and
Yeah.
when I was. But should we
I
go
know
back?
I know your love for Keanu. So
Oh yeah. Oh.
Dave's unbridled passion for Keanu Reeves.
But there's the Rings, there's Harry Potter, and isn't there another?
Star Wars.
Nah. Well, nah. I'll watch Star Wars. But I guess going back to 2016, so yours was by default because you hadn't seen anything.
No.
Wow.
I mean, it looks like there was a lot of good movies out, and by good I mean everyone that's seen them are, oh wow, it's a really good movie. You gotta see it. But when I watch movies like that based on other people's recommendation, I feel like I get set up for, you know, their version of good. So they're like, you gotta see it. So once I watch it, the first 5 minutes I usually get lost because I'm just like, is it not good yet? Still. So then I turn it off and then I watch
What was the movie?
Harry
you did that
Potter
With?
marathon.
What was the movie you did that with?
Well, there's one movie that for sure I can do both the good and the bad. So one, Dave recommended The Revenant, and he was just like, best movie of 2016, even though it was in 2015. So I got a copy of it, and I just started watching it with my friends, and first of all, I didn't know how long that movie was, and then because I had a group of friends there, everybody else was invested in it, so I figured I might as well too. And it was really good. I liked a lot of the material in it that had, like, there was natives in it that weren't, you know, hee-hawing around and, you know, chopping, doing the typical stuff. Like there was the ones that were kind of timid, and then there was the ones that were like killing people. So I was like, cool, that's a pretty good representation there. And but then the story just got really, really good, and ended up finishing it that night. And like started at like 11, ended in like 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like gosh, but. That's a movie that I will say, yes, it's a good movie. No, I will not watch it again.
Wow.
Because it's too long.
I would watch it again. However, yeah, it's been a year now. I haven't watched it for a second time, but I would somewhere down the future. Because the first time I seen it was a crappy copy. So now I have a legit copy, so I want to watch it. So one of your picks was Deadpool. Let's talk about Deadpool. So first of all, why Deadpool? And you went on your own and watched this and paid for your ticket.
No, I didn't pay for it.
Okay.
I caught somebody had a copy of it, and I checked it out. I only watched like 15 minutes of it, and I fell asleep. But
now, were you tired, or the movie put you to sleep?
We just were traveling for hours. We got there. They were like, "Hey, check this movie out." And we're watching that, fell asleep, so that was kind of the reason why. But I remember liking, like, it caught me in the beginning. I was like, cool, it's a pretty cool movie. And there's a story behind it, too, because whether or not it's important, to me, I like the fact that, was it Fox, or who killed Deadpool in the first, one of the Wolverine movies?
Yeah.
Deadpool
Fox.
was a character, and they had his mouth, like, sewn shut. So it was Ryan Reynolds who played him, and like, I wasn't really into the Marvel comics too much, but my friends were, so they were telling me about, you know, oh, that's Deadpool, but they were like, he's not talking like him, he's not doing anything Deadpool relevant, he's just, you know, they called him like Weapon 20 or X or something like that.
I didn't know he was in Wolverine.
Yeah, he was in the, which one?
Wolverine Origins.
Origins, yeah. So he's in that movie for like 5 minutes, gets killed, and then so the fans are kind of pissed about it. Like, what the hell? That's dead. Like, you bring Deadpool in the movie, you kill him, and he doesn't do any Deadpool things. So I started reading about Deadpool. I was like, oh, okay, now I know why they're pissed. And then Ryan Reynolds really pushed for that movie to get put on the big screen, and he kind of funded it, I think, for the most part. And then I don't know if he directed it or anything, but
No.
I thought that's cool that, hey, he brought Deadpool element, and I don't know. That's why I like it.
So tell us why you actually like the movie, though. What kept you in?
We're grilling.
I guess because I'm teetering on the, like, immature side still, so there's a lot of immature stuff in there. I can laugh at, when he's talking, his hands chopped off, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna touch myself. I bet it feels huge in this hand."
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, I could still laugh at that stuff, and I guess the comedy aspect of it, I liked, and it wasn't too super dramatic. I mean, the story itself isn't rich, but they got the superhero element. They got the little raunchy comedy stuff. So I liked it. I mean, it's one of the few, if not only, R-rated superhero movies. Like, I don't know if there is another. I think maybe Batman versus Superman was. I can't remember, but
wasn't it the largest grossing R-rated movie?
R-rated.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
I think it was.
It was
a big. But yeah, if I seen something else that I liked, it might not have made the cut. But since it's the one before that I seen, yes.
I gotta tell you, man. First of all, I'm not a comic book guy, but I do enjoy these superhero movies. I mean the newer, like the ones made in the last 5, 6, 7 years. Like if you talk about the old Batman series, yeah, I didn't care for much of any of them.
Val Kilmer,
Clooney,
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. Yeah, I didn't like any of those. I mean, I watched them, but not like when I first seen Iron Man. I was like, holy shit, this is awesome, man. I'm digging this, I would see another one. But jump to Deadpool. Yeah, my son filled me in. He's a comic book guy. Because I didn't really like the jokiness of it, but that's Deadpool. I understand that's how the character is, or Deadpool is, and I wasn't enjoying. The opening shot was cool, the slow-mo, him crashing through the car, and that was cool. I was like, oh wow, check that out. But then when the movie started and he started to be jokey, and I just from the get, I was not liking the character. I thought the supporting cast was appealing, like his friend at the bar. I don't know these characters' name. And I'll be honest, the thing that kept me captivated in the movie was his lady friend.
Just fast forward to all her scenes.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the aesthetic for me right there. And
I think that's the aesthetic for a lot of the movie audience, though.
Well, I'm glad she was in Deadpool. But I mean, I liked his roommate, the old lady.
Oh yeah.
I thought she offered some good comic relief and some stability, I guess, in his life a little bit.
I think it's successful because he is an anti-hero. So in the comics, at least from my understanding, he kills a lot of the superheroes. Because he's like, he can't be killed. So he kills Wolverine, he kills Spider-Man, he kills just about everybody, and you end up kind of hating him for it because you're like, is anybody going to be able to kill this guy? So the fact that in
the comic books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's not always a good guy. He's just kind of he's an assassin for sure. But I mean, so the fact that you didn't like him means that the movie accomplished.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I get that. They fooled me.
They swung you.
I didn't watch. If we can talk about Wolverine for a second, I didn't watch any of the Wolverines. I just wasn't. It didn't appeal to me. But I watched pretty much everything else: Hulk, Iron Man, the Avengers, even like Captain America, Spider-Man. I actually liked the newer Spider-Mans. I'm sorry, I liked Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man, and not the latest series of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to the new Spider-Man coming up with the younger guy.
Oh yeah. I forgot what that's.
Tom Holland for the Avengers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But what's your take on Deadpool?
I honestly didn't care for it. I didn't like it at all. I understand the appeal of it. It could be that I'm just beyond that appeal. But for something that was trying to be self-aware and very meta, it was really lacking in being self-aware and meta. They didn't push it as far as I thought they should go, and they played it safe, playing to what everybody's idea of what Deadpool is, instead of like really pushing that. So I didn't care for it. I mean, I just came out of there just mad. It's just like, paid for that? It's like, I mean, the jokes a lot of times seemed forced to me, mainly because they know they got to be funny, they got to be irreverent. The violence, there's absolutely great action choreography happening out there in movies today, and this didn't seem to have any of it. It seemed a lot of like trickery, like oh yeah, he's setting himself up that he's only got 12 bullets left and he's wasting them purposely, and that's supposed to be funny. And now he only has one shot to kill 4 guys. When use the swords on your back, man.
That's true.
I mean, I know that's sort of like placing logic into something that isn't supposed to be logical, but that was a time to be irreverent and meta, saying, "Oh wait, I have swords." That could have been, I think, it would have helped the joke land a bit more. But instead, instead of using it to push the Deadpool character, they used it to push the Deadpool cool, if that makes sense. The 4 shots in one is like, oh, that's cool, rather than, oh wait, that should be Deadpool. You know, he should cut off all their heads in one slice. So it was really bothersome to me, and by the end of it, because I watched a good movie earlier that day, and I
Was
thought,
it one of your top 3?
no, it wasn't one of my top 3, but it was a documentary, and I was really inspired by that documentary. I said, yeah, let's make it a two for Tuesday, and I went in there and I came out. I was like, why did I do that?
Want my money back.
Kind of ruined the high.
But I was comparing, after watching Deadpool and not liking it, and then I told my son, like, you know what I enjoyed much more was Ant-Man. So, I can't really. It's just I liked him. What's the rationale behind it? I don't know. I was just more entertained. Ant-Man was likable. I felt myself rooting for him, and I didn't really know much about Ant-Man. So learning that kind of history and history of the character and how it came to be and evolved and all that stuff, I thought it was cool. If I could be critical about Ant-Man, just one case was, of all these superheroes in Marvel, what's his name made the appearance in Ant-Man? The guy who flies.
Oh, the Falcon.
The Falcon.
Oh yeah.
Why not Black Widow? But I mean, really, the Falcon. I guess they weren't really banking on Ant-Man to be as big as it was. Maybe.
I think they needed to. This is just my guess. Is that they needed to give more exposure to the Falcon, so he sort of fits in with becoming an Avenger. Because when it comes to like Iron Man, the Iron Man films, Black Widow's been there almost from the beginning, so you've seen her develop. And then Falcon was only in there in Winter Soldier, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he's got to be in the next Captain America movie. So you got to make that leap where you got to see him develop, or at least give him more exposure. Where if he's showing up in the airport scene in Civil War, people aren't going, "Who's that?" They're going, "Oh, that's the guy that was in Ant-Man," and "Oh yeah, he's the guy that was in Winter Soldier." So it's that progression. So that's why Scarlet loses out.
So again, with my son, I told him I didn't like Deadpool. And he's like, his reasoning or rationale, or he said, you didn't like it because you're old. You're an old person. And that probably carries weight because look at Jordan is mid-20s.
Yeah.
And we're both in late
70s.
It seems like it. But maybe I guess we're not part of the demographic for Deadpool.
I think it comes from this idea that also that you and I are older, so unfortunately, I don't mean to say this as a jab to Jordan. We have standards.
How's
like-
it make you feel?
None taken.
None taken, damn it. But we expect movies to rise to a level. But for a lot of young people, it doesn't have to rise to any level. It just has to entertain. So, yeah, we come out of that old school thought of, films have to be a little more substantive.
I mean, I laughed, I don't know, 5-6 times with Deadpool. But yeah,
I keep thinking of ways they could have made it more meta, where he just walks off set, or picks up the script somewhere. So, let's do this instead. Something like that, is what I was expecting. Instead of the whole Ferris Bueller thing of just looking at the camera and saying, "Hey, isn't this irreverent and funny?"